Hi guys, it's my birthday. The girl is 25. I'm in my middle age years. Or wait, mid 20s. Sorry, I'm not that old. Mid 20s. Hi guys, it's my birthday. The girl is 25. I'm in my middle age years. Or mid 20s. Sorry, I'm not that old. Mid 20s. 25 out here. I am trying to get ready for my birthday dinner tonight. So I thought I would just bring you guys along and talk to you guys about 25 things I've learned in my 25 years, because I've learned a lot and I feel someone should know. All you youngsters out there, all my peers out there, y'all need to learn some things if you haven't. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So before I get into my 25 facts, tips, whatever, I want to first share this device. It's the PMD Clean Acne device. It's basically like a scrub for your face, scrubbing device for your face. So you basically put the cleanser here and then it vibrates. You have two levels, the lighter one and the rough one. I would suggest off rip, start off with the lighter one. Don't be like me. I be thinking I can handle everything, and yeah, my face definitely was like, you thought. So start off with the light one, and then once you finish washing your face, then you go in with this. This is the LED light therapy, so it helps with acne. So this is specifically for acne. You basically just press it, it turns blue, and you place it on your face. They also, I like this about them, they're like, you got to protect your eyes out here, so they also give you these small little goggles that cover your eyes so you're not getting all those harmful rays in your eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash and cleanse my face using my Neutrogena acne wash. And yeah, we're gonna scrub dub and we get into the whole, you know, topic. Yeah. So the best way to use this is to first like wet it up. I like it better that way. And then you put the product, so you can do this one or two ways. You can put it on the bristles itself, or you can just put it on your face. Sometimes I put it on my face, sometimes I put it on the bristles. I think I'm gonna apply it to my face since that's how I typically do it. And then I will go in with the water. Don't ask me why I do it like this. It works for me. When something works, you keep doing it. And then we press the button and we scrub. Personally, I've seen the difference of using this. One, it's just easier to use. I don't always have to use my hands, so I love that. But also, I think it definitely does get out the grime, because I notice the difference when I use toner. I use like cotton pads and it's not as dirty as when I use my hands, so it's definitely doing something. I love that about it. And I just do this. I sing like the alphabet song, or I sing That's So Raven. Yes, I'm a child, it's okay. We sing that, and that's how I know my face is clean for the most part. But if you like this device, definitely check out my link below. You will get 20 to 25% off using my discount code. So yeah, go ahead, check it out. All right, so my face is clean. Personally, I naturally let the water just dry off on my face, so before I go in with toner and whatnot, so let the water soak up and absorb into my skin. But let's go ahead and get into my 25 tips, lessons I've learned in my 25 years. So the first one, a little bit poetry for you guys. Roses are red, violets are blue. You should always be the best version of you. And so basically, if you don't understand what it means, that just means be yourself. One thing I've learned in these 25 years is that being you will attract those people and those things that are meant for you. I think we live in an age where everybody wants to follow the crowd or be like someone or just fit in. And you know, we do need to learn to connect and relate to people, but if it's at the detriment of you being yourself, of you being you, you will never attract the things that you need to. I know personally, when I was younger, I was the proper preppy kid. I was made fun of for being smart, and just being different, you know. And that's not a good feeling when you're young and you really haven't yet built your self-esteem. But I had loving parents, and they kept telling me, no, you need to just be yourself. And it wasn't until I got to college and seeing other people my age not having self-esteem, not being themselves, and putting themselves into bad situations, I was like, yeah, being yourself will save you so much trouble. Like, just imagine you not being yourself, you're trying to fake it and whatnot, knowing that you don't like XYZ. And then what? You're just there being unhappy while everybody around you is happy, doing whatever they want. Don't you also want to feel that same level of happiness? Yeah. So like I said, be the best version of you, do things for you, make sure that you are happy in this life. So yeah, that is my first lesson / tip. Now I'm going in with my toner. I usually use the Neutrogena one and sometimes the Pixie Beauty Vitamin C toner. Sometimes I mix those two and I use that, but yeah, we're gonna use some toner to prep my face, hydrate my face, to get that done. But yeah, this wow. So number 2 lesson tip that I've learned is life is a roller coaster. Literally, you have your highs and you have your lows. One thing you need to remember is that, at least from my experience, is that with every low there comes such a better high. It just takes time to overcome that hump, to overcome that challenge. But the biggest thing with this is also to remember not to give up. In this life, you're going to have highs and lows. You're going to have things that test you, but you should always know that there are better things coming. There's better things waiting that are in store. So, you know, don't give up. Even though it might seem like you're in your low valley right now, don't give up. Things will look up. And I'm saying this from experience. So yeah. And so this leads into my third point, number 3, which is do good, because good always comes back to you. And I have a special guest, my girl, Autumn. She's going to talk about doing good, because good always comes back. So yeah.
You should do good, and good will always come back to you. It's really about doing for others and not just for yourself. Being selfless is huge, and it really takes you far in life if you know how to use it.
I think when people do good, they're always expecting something back
in return.
And you should just do it naturally. Like the Bible, if you're a Christian out there, the Bible does say that he loves a cheerful giver. And that doesn't mean just in money, but also in doing good. And I feel like when you're cheerful and you actually naturally
give from the heart, it always comes back tenfold. So just give.
Exactly. Do good, give. Period.
You'll get blessings.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So now I'm going in with my serum. So I use the Timeless Hyaluronic Acid. Honestly, I love this because initially when I had it, I didn't really think it was doing anything. But then when my skin kind of like burned in a sense, I think the Timeless products are really good with healing your skin. So if you need to heal your skin after something like maybe you sunbathe and you got like a scar or something like that, these products. So I use this for like a moisturizer because this is moisturizing. And then I also go in with the Good Molecules Discoloration Correcting Serum because it helps with like my pigmentation that I'm dealing with right now. So yeah, using these two. Number 4, incorporate God into your life. I feel like when I was younger, you know, you followed your parents to church, you did what they did, but you weren't really understanding of like, okay, why are we doing all this stuff? Why are we incorporating God? But I have personally noticed the difference of incorporating God into my life and not incorporating God into my life. And I think I saw this the most when I left home for college. You know, I feel like everybody, when they get that little bit of freedom, they're like, ooh, let me do what I want to. Of course, I wasn't wild by any standards, but there are certain things, like in my household, we pray daily. And I just noticed any day I did not pray, my day would just be bad. Like, it would just be horrible. And I have seen, like, just incorporating God in my life has made my life better. And just the fact that, like, if I don't have God in my life, I'm like, what else do I have? Like, that's really how it is for me. So I feel like life is always better with God in your life. So that's my lesson number 4. If you don't have a good relationship with God, start now. Start cultivating it. And again, God is not this like hateful and vengeful type of God that I feel like people have described, and I feel like other Christians have put out there. God is definitely a loving God. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a loving God, and he sees us as we are. Literally, we are all like filthy garments before him. He knows we're not perfect. He knows we're not, you know, we're gonna make mistakes. So, but one thing I do think he appreciates, which is what we as humans also appreciate, is having a relationship with him and being close to him. So that would be my 4th thing. Have a relationship with God. Incorporate God into your life if you have it, and you'll see the difference. I promise you, you'll see the change. Number 5 is having a good community and relationship is much better than having a relationship. And I know y'all like, huh? Listen. Even to have a good relationship, you have to have a good friendship. At least for me, I don't understand how people, especially I feel like this happens a lot with women, is that when they get into a relationship, and I've been guilty of it, I won't even come out here and like lie to you guys, but we're so guilty of prioritizing relationships, and then we start neglecting our community, our families, our friends. And then when the relationship or whatever goes sideways, now we're over here trying to come back and try to figure out, oh, let's be friends, let's do this activity. And also just the fact that based on my past, my first relationship and whatnot, I'm one of those people, like, when I love completely, and I put my full forth effort in whatever I do. And what I noticed is that because I was putting all that energy in, I started neglecting my friends. A lot of friends that now, yes, we're close, but it was just the fact that we weren't as close as we are now because I used to neglect them. And what you also need to understand is that your family and your friends, especially your family, is going to be there. They have been there. So why neglect them in the first place? They're also the ones who will help you when it comes to like relationship problems and whatnot. So don't forget your community, don't forget your friends. And again, even before you get into a relationship, you have to create I want my partner to be my friend. So we have to have a friendship before we have a relationship. And also, we've seen even in society how people grow stronger because of their friends. Of course, yes, their spouses as well. But a lot of people, they just have such a strong community about them, and that's why they are successful as they are. So please don't neglect your friendships. Don't neglect your friends and family for a relationship. It's never worth it. I promise you. It is not worth it. Literally, I look back and I regret it completely. Do not do it. Please listen to me. Now I'm going in with my Pixie Vitamin Wake Up Mist because I feel like I'm a bit tired and my skin needs some rejuvenation. So I spray this over my face, kind of like a moisturizer. So the previous point kind of leads into my next tip/lesson, which is a friend that does not respect your relationship will never respect you. I've had situations, I don't really talk about it, but hey, I guess, you know, it's story time, it's sharing time. I like to give examples. But I had a friend a while back in one of my relationships that just, at the time I didn't know. You know, when you're friends with people or you love people, you don't see the red flags before they happen, or you don't see the red flags that are clearly there because you're just so infatuated and whatnot. So, you know, I had a friend, and the person I was with and them, they became very close, and you know, it was no problem, whatever. I'm big on friendship and whatnot. But it started getting to a point that I would start hearing things that this friend, this so-called friend of mine, would say to like my significant other, which is already a red flag, because for my significant other, why are you allowing someone to talk about me like this? But then it got to a point I started hearing people that this friend was, I guess, friends with. They would say things about me that they finally came out about it, I guess, when my previous friend, their friendship fell out. And they would say things and I would just be like, oh, that's interesting, because I've never even spoken to these other people, so how do they know so much about me? And I found out later that this friend of mine was saying crazy stuff about me. And it was to the point where, like, they would go out and they wouldn't tell me, and I would be over here like, why won't you just tell me when XYZ happens? Like, if you want to hang out, I have no problem, which again is still weird because you're still my friend. Why do you want to hang out with my boyfriend? But I was like, hey, it's cool, it's whatever. But that was just a form of like respect. Like, I just think for all you girls, you youngins out there, if you have a friend that is so adamant about hanging out with your significant other, there's just something wrong. Even if nothing's going on, it's just kind of weird, and they just don't have any respect for you, which I found out personally. Keep that in mind, because when you're in friendships, relationships, you don't see things, and sometimes you need to take away your heart for a minute and see things for what they are. So yeah, that is my little thing. If your friend doesn't respect you or doesn't respect your relationship, they definitely don't respect you, and they are doing some type of nonsense or shady stuff behind your back. My next point is kind of in relation to the last story that I just said. Is about basically like, you're at fault sometimes, and you know, it's kind of hard to believe that you're at fault, especially for me. I try to be a perfectionist and everything and I try to be a person that everybody kind of likes in some way or another, but you are definitely at fault. So again, with this like previous friendship, what actually started the whole thing is that at the time I have been learned, and that's why if you now look at my like Twitter, I don't post anything about nobody. It's basically positive, but I had Twitter fingers. I would go on Twitter whenever I'm upset about a situation, and I would go on Twitter. And particularly in this case, the subliminal tweet was not even directed at my friend. It was more so directed at my significant other, but it happened to be involving my ex-friend. And so that's clearly wrong. Like, clearly, like, it's clearly wrong. And so that person ended up blocking me, and yeah, we no longer have a friendship or a relationship, but it's okay. I've learned my lesson. It definitely taught me something, which I feel like God was trying to tell me. You need to stop talking so much and stop doing such things, and I'm sorry for doing that. But yeah, no longer friends. So just know that sometimes you are at fault. You're not perfect, and you're going to be at fault. There are going to be some people's stories that you're a villain in, and that's it. Yeah. Going in with the Supergoop. Y'all already know me. Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. So I'm using this sunscreen to prep my face. So that last lesson or tip also leads into my next lesson or tip, is sometimes the things that you do wrong, so your shortcomings, are actually are for your benefit. God has a weird way of changing the shortcomings of people. You even see this in the Bible, and how he takes the shortcomings of people and uses them for the benefit of his good and what he has, the plans and whatnot. And with that last friendship or whatever, after that friend blocked me, and you know, everything that happened and the situation that arose and whatnot, we stopped being friends. And us stop being friends actually helped so much, because there was a mutual of both of us. I found out all the hateful and crazy things she said about me prior to any of this happening. And actually, one thing that stood out to me that this person said is they were actually just trying to find a reason not to be my friend. That for the longest they didn't really want to be my friend, but because I was perfect in a sense, they couldn't find a real reason, and I gave them the best, you know, exit. And which hurts, because it's just like, I hate giving people the reason to not like me, but it also put things in perspective, because there would be so many situations I'll be like, and not just me, other people around me, even my other friends and other people involved in my life would tell me this person doesn't like me, but I was like, I can't really put two and two together. Yeah, I found out a lot of hateful things she said in one particular instance, which really hurt me and still kind of hurts me to this day. This person told another person about a time that I was in my most vulnerable state. I was crying, and if anyone who knows me, I don't like crying in front of people. I hate people seeing me. I don't like pity. So for me to cry in front of you is a real issue. And this ex-friend of mine told this other person that they didn't believe that my tears were real. And I'm not gonna lie, even repeating the words right now, it really hits home, because it's like, I don't fake my tears. I don't try to pretend. So for someone to say that, it really hit home. And so yeah, just know that that's not the whole gist, but just know that sometimes your shortcomings are actually to your benefit. God uses things that you've done wrong in order to help you know things and be aware of things. And I'm so happy that our friendship fell out, because honestly, the friends I have now are beyond, like, they're irreplaceable. And looking at the things that I'm doing in my life now, I wouldn't even want someone like that around me in the first place. So yeah, just know your shortcomings can actually be to your benefit. So now I'm going in, setting my face. It's hydrated. I'm going in with some loose powder. Again, learned this trick from Jackie Aina because I have oily type skin. So I'm going to put this all over my face in order to make sure my makeup stays a little bit. But before I do that, I go in with my e.l.f. primer. And this is like a sticky primer. It reminds me of the Milk primer. I love that primer as well, but this one is pretty on par with that. So I put that all over my face. We can do that. My next lesson that I've learned in my 25 years is that your parents are sometimes right. Disclaimer, if your parents, you know, are good parents, if your parents are not on some crazy nonsense, most times your parents actually do know what's best for you. I feel like with every situation, every friendship fallout, or anything that I've gone through that has been like really serious in my life, especially when it comes to like friendships or relationships, my parents have always been spot on. And I hate it. I hate to say our parents are right. Like, I really hate to tell them that they're right. But yeah, literally before I would get into a relationship or friendship with certain people, or even if I was friends with someone and they later found out, my parents will always tell me this person's not it. Literally every person I follow up with now, my parents have told me. And I didn't listen because first of all, I'm hard-headed, I'm stubborn. And then on top of that, it's like, I'm one of those people, I always need evidence. I guess maybe it's the research in me, the scientist in me. I need facts. I need stats of why I shouldn't entertain said person. And sometimes your parents, they can't provide you with facts, but they see what you can't see because they've lived longer. They've experienced life a little bit more than you have. And so now, at my grown age of 25, yeah, if my parents say you're not good for, bye, because they typically know. And honestly, if I would have listened to them in many circumstances, I would not have found myself in certain situations. I would not have entertained certain friendships and relationships. So yeah, just know your parents do know what's best for you, even though it sucks, but here we are. I have set my face in with powder. I always go in with my eyes first, and I use the LA Girl concealer to set my eyes. But before we do that, I need to brush my eyebrows because, you know, don't want crazy looking eyebrows here. So my next lesson / tip that I've learned in my 25 years is forgive, because forgiveness is key, but don't forget. I think a lot of people, when they forgive, they also try to forget. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that whole forgiving and forgetting, forgiveness is not hard. And well, it's hard. It can be hard. It can be very difficult. But the forgetting, it can be one or two ways. If you just don't want to forget because you want to keep feeling the resentment and whatever, that's not healthy. But I always tell God whenever I forgive people, Lord, don't let me forget. And I know you were like, why would you pray such a prayer? The reason is because I've learned in my life, if I forgive, I also want to forget because I don't want to remember the trauma, the pain, or whatnot. But I also still end up falling into the same bad habit again, or the same situation again, maybe with a different person. So I always tell God, Lord, allow me to forgive, but don't let me forget, because forgetting makes you fall into the same patterns over and over again. So just forgive, but don't forget. My next lesson / tip that I have gained during my 25 years is to hang out with your parents. I feel like as we are getting older, we're all developing our new lives, and like we have our own places. If we don't, we might be in the same house and still not hang out with our parents, like have genuine quality time with our parents. And as I get older and as I see life and see how precious life is, hang out with your parents. Actually try to hang out with them, be close to them, talk to them. Actually, you know me, scientists. There are many studies out there that have shown the correlation between children who visit their parents and hang out with their parents in regards to how long they live. So if you're like me and you love your parents, hang out with your parents, actually engage with your parents so that they can live long. And also, it also helps with the family dynamic. There's another study, I'm gonna provide all the studies down below, so don't worry, that shows how visiting and being around your parents is actually good for your well-being as well. Again, this is disclaimer depending on if your parents are good parents and whatnot, but life is very short and our parents are not going to be around forever, like for real. And the older I get, maybe I'm becoming more and more compassionate. I want to hang out with my parents, I want to see things with my parents, and I just want to be there for them and do things for them. So just remember to hang out with your parents as you continue to get older. Tip/lesson is travel to learn. I feel like when people travel, they travel for vacation, and that's nice. It's all nice and dandy, but one way to really like immerse yourself and become more educated, and something I've learned with my life, is to travel if you can afford it. Of course, traveling can be a privilege, but if you have the opportunity to travel, take the opportunity. Go and travel. You will learn so much, especially when you immerse yourself in the culture. Like, look at me right now. I'm in Dubai and I'm learning so much about like Arabs, Emiratis, just Dubai, the whole UAE, that I would have never truly learned if I was not here. So travel to learn more, travel more, and just open your mind to new and amazing possibilities. And this kind of leads into like my next point, or my next thing that I've learned is, this is specifically for women, but like, choose yourself. Like, truly choose yourself. I hear, and one thing that I don't like hearing from a lot of older women that I see now is that they regret. They have these regrets that they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Or a lot of people are like, oh, I have children, but this. I don't ever want to hear those words uttered out of my mouth. So I don't want to regret anything. I'm going to choose myself now, of course within reason, because if you do have things you want, you know, but choose yourself now and be happy now, because I know in the future, and the things I've seen even when I was younger and now that I did then, that I'm happy I did then, that I see now, choosing myself was definitely the best option, because now I don't regret any of those things. And I can proudly and happily say that I don't regret a lot of things in my life. Another lesson I have learned is that living for others is really the fast track to like your sadness, honestly, like, and just being dissatisfied with life in general. Like, you see people who constantly, they just have to have the need to like flex, and the only reason is because they like the attention that it gives them. But think about it, you flex, you have this, and the next 2 or 3 months to keep up appearance, you have to flex another thing. So now you're doing things, hurting your own pockets, and it doesn't have to be in regards to money or anything, but just trying to impress other, being a people pleaser, which, you know, like, it's like, why? Because no one is living your life. You should just be happy with your life. It's just a way to make yourself sad. You will never be satisfied. And one thing I don't ever want to do in my life is not be satisfied with the things I have, because I'm trying to impress others. So literally everything I do it for me. I really don't care to impress other people. I really don't care what people think. And I think you should definitely live by that as well. Don't try to impress others. Live for yourself, please. To my next tip/lesson I've learned is being grateful will fast track you to receiving more. One thing I have seen in my life is that when I decide to just be grateful for where I'm at, even if it's not exactly where I want to be, I feel like God just has a way of like, okay, you're grateful for what you have right now. I'm going to give you more to be grateful for. Because let's be honest, just like us, I feel like God, he be liking to hear himself being praised and junk. And so he's going to be like, okay, she's happy with the little I have given her. let me show her what else I can do. Let me show her how great it can get. And just in life in general, you don't even have to be a Christian. You can be just a normal person. If you are just grateful for the life you have now, being grateful for the things you have now. And it's hard. It's hard to be grateful when you sometimes see, and that's why comparison is not good. But sometimes you just need to remember, don't compare, and be grateful for where you're at. And if you really want to think about it this way. There are people who are in worse situations than you are in, that they are still living, they're still being grateful, they're still being happy. So how much less you? So yeah, always be grateful, because the more you're grateful, the more good things and better things keep coming. And I feel like a lot of like influence and other people that I see that are very successful, especially Black ones, they're like, yeah, when I just started being grateful for the opportunities and things I had, that's when more opportunities would come. So from the mouths of different folks, the truth shall be established. So yeah. My next tip / lesson is don't share your wins until it's established. And I have a special guest, my girl, is going to talk about this, because I feel like she's the best person to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, like she said, don't talk about things until like they're firm. Because I think even when you're in the process, people really just don't want to see you doing well. Like, even trying to better yourself, people start hating on you. Like, oh, like, let's look at her. She's trying to drink water and exercise. Oh my God. Like,
not water. I want to protect my liver. Like,
try to be hydrated out here. So people find to send bad energy your way just for you trying to do the extra mile to be better. And it's sad, but it's true.
And honestly, if you like wait to share your wins, there's no one that can put negativity first. You know, when you have some good news or something and you automatically share, and then the good news doesn't pan out,
it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Just don't share nothing until like 3 months after it has happened. So,
and also psychologically, basically talking about things gives you the same like dopamine rush as actually achieving the goal itself. And so you're less likely to actually achieve it, because you've kind of given yourself the same chemical stuff.
You see?
So, there you go.
There you go. Another lesson that I have learned, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with, and they don't know they struggle with it, is like, if you are a people pleaser, you lack boundaries. I used to be like that, and I didn't realize like me trying to please others and trying to accommodate others was me not establishing the boundaries that I had within myself. So when you try to please others, that means the standards you have and you hold for yourself, or you want to maintain for yourself, you can't. And also, other people they're not even given the chance to respect your boundaries. So you just basically have people that are not meant to be around you, or you have people who use you or don't understand you around you because you're just trying to please them, not understanding that this is your life. You need to learn how to please yourself, establish your boundaries, and stick to your boundaries. That's the thing. People establish these boundaries, say they have these boundaries, but they never stick to it. What is the point? At that point, it's just a suggestion. Stick to your boundaries. Stop being a people pleaser. And we're getting older. Get out of it, please. Like, it is not that big of a deal. And again, you attract the things you need when you're not a people pleaser. The friends who actually love you and support you and respect your boundaries. So just remember that. Hey you guys, so I totally forgot to list out my 19 tip / lesson. So here we go. What I've learned in my life is that like the biggest blessings are usually reserved for those who endured the most. We see that a lot in examples in the Bible, but also in just my life. A lot of the times when I was asked to wait or be patient in my life, that's when God chooses to bless me with more than I even ask or desire. So if you're in a waiting period right now, just understand that your blessing is coming. Yes, you may be waiting forever, but just have the faith, have the hope that things will work out and something big is coming. It's kind of like when you think about a 5-star meal. Your 5-star meal is going to require more time, more preparation. And so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, God got a 5-star blessing prepared for me. So yeah, that's my little tip / lesson I've learned over the years. So let's keep going into the video. Okay guys, I'm done. I just decided that I would just do everything off camera so I could, you know, show y'all the finished look. But here's the face, the birthday look. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead into the last 5 lessons I have learned during my time getting to the age of 25. So number 20, one that I live by and happens to me all the time, is having confidence will definitely get you through doors you never thought you could get through. One thing on my mom's side of the family that I feel like they instill into the girls in our family is like, have confidence. Have confidence everywhere you go. Because you don't know how open opportunities, how open doors. And literally most of the things I have gotten in life is not really based off of my merit. It's most times based off of how confident I am, how I sell myself in like the right way, how I talk about myself to the right people. So yeah, have confidence. It will definitely get you places. This one, it might be a bit controversial, but I don't care. It is dress well. And dress well for your body type. I think we live in a culture where everyone's just like, oh, we should all be able to wear what we want and blah, 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 blah. And let's be honest, a lot of us wear clothes. Yes, we say we wear clothes for ourselves, but you do feel good when someone compliments you on your outfit. Do you not? Okay, then. So if you want more compliments on your look, I promise you it works if you just dress well for your body type. There are some things that I cannot wear now because I don't have the figure, or I don't have the curves, or you know, I don't have the body type for. But I have figured out my body type, and I'm telling you, figuring out your body type is like the candles on the cake for you to elevate your dressing up look to the next level. So if you haven't figured out your body type and figured out, you know, the correct, please figure it out now. This one, I think I kind of already touched on it in the previous one, so I'm just gonna say it, but like, being alive means there's going to be problems. The only people who don't have problems are the people who are buried right now 6 feet under. I know that's harsh, but in this life we're gonna have problems, and it's how you get through those problems that will propel you to the next stage or the next level. So even though life is tough right now and it may seem difficult, just understand that that means you're living. That means you still have a purpose on this earth. And I'm even saying this to myself because sometimes I'll be going through life and it really be like, bruh, why do I have to go through this? Is it only me? But that means I have something in store for me, something bigger for me. So just remember that, okay? So this one is gonna hurt some people's feelings, but I don't care. This lesson that I've learned is that etiquette will get you so far in life. And for instance, I don't know what it is, maybe it's an American culture thing, but coming to like someone's birthday and not bringing a present of some sort, and people are gonna be like, well, they invited me to their birthday, what does that have to do with it? Listen, someone thought of you and said you should come to my birthday. You're able to eat someone's free food, drinks, whatever it is, but you can't get them a small $5 birthday gift, even a card. Your lack of etiquette. And I get it, it's the way I was raised. My parents always taught me, when you go to someone's birthday dinner, if you're not paying for the meal, have a little something on you. Same thing if you go to someone's house for the first time. You bring stuff, because the fact that they're able to invite you to their home, like for me, my home is my sacred place. And so you respect my home, whatever it is, etiquette will get you through race. And the same thing like thank you cards, I think that's like a lost art. I always send thank you cards to like my mentors or etc. like that, or a thank you email. Learn some etiquette. It will get you through some doors really quickly, and you'll be surprised how many people love people with etiquette. So everything really is that deep. You know, when I used to grow up and everything, people always said, oh, Peace, you take things too seriously, you do this too seriously. But now it's like those same people, and as we keep getting older, everything is truly that deep. The friends you keep, the company you keep, the things you eat, especially as we're getting older, the things you watch, everything is literally spiritual and that deep. If you want certain things to happen, you want certain things to, you need to think of things deeply. The way your friends, certain friends do things, it's that deep. If you feel some type of way, it is that deep. I'm just saying, I think one thing I've learned is just that everything really is that deep. And for anyone to say otherwise, they're just living in delusional land. I'm sorry to say, but yeah. Alright, you guys, we're back after our night out, and we have our last 25 lessons at 25, and that is celebrate your life.
because if you don't, no one else will. And
yeah, I'm here because I'm pretty much when we started this in our friend group, because I just kind of noticed was like, for the people that I saw who their friends really went all out for their birthdays, they were really hype about it. Like, they're doing like 30 days to my birthday, they're counting down, they're really hyping up the energy. Like, so it's like really no one's gonna celebrate you unless you celebrate yourself. Why should anyone get excited about you if you're not excited about yourself?
Exactly.
So I think like once I started doing that, we all started doing it, and like I think it's really been an amazing past couple of years of us just really celebrating and loving on each other. So yeah, like celebrate yourself, start the trend for yourself, and I think you'll really reap the benefits.
Period. That's it. So thank you for watching this vlog. I will tune in with you guys later. Stay tuned for a Dubai vlog. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday. So
Yes,
bye.
bye.